Hello and welcome to the Legally Blind Geek YouTube channel. My name is Mike, its creator. My focus here, help folks overcome low vision challenges. In today's video, we're going to pay special attention to accessibility features that are found on iPhones and iPads, especially after downloading and installing the latest iOS update 13.2. We are paying special attention to, we're going to dive right into, and we're going to reveal some stuff that's kind of hidden away if you don't know where to look for it, which is Apple's display and text size settings found in accessibility features on your iPhones and your iPads that help folks with low vision tremendously. Hi, welcome back to the Legally Blind Geek YouTube channel. Mike here. So let's get started with setting up accessibilities on our iPhones and our iPads. First place to start, pick up your device, turn it on, unlock the screen, go to your home screen or wherever you have your settings tab, go ahead and open settings. In settings, you're going to scroll down until you find the accessibilities tab. Now, in previous versions of the iOS, the accessibilities features were found under General and then Accessibility. No longer the case. In 13.2, Accessibilities has its own tab, so just scroll down until you find Accessibilities, select Open Accessibilities, and then when in Accessibilities, go ahead and scroll down until you find Display and Text Size, select and open that folder. Okay. Bear with me here for just a minute. We're going to do a quick recap. I know it seems redundant, but just for fun, let's make sure that we're all on the same page and nobody gets confused or left behind. We selected our favorite iDevice, iPhone or iPad or both. We opened it up, unlocked it, went to the home screen. We found the icon for settings, selected and opened the settings icon. So now we're in the settings folder. We scroll down the menu until we find accessibility. And in accessibilities is its own tab. In previous versions of iOS, I know it was found under the Generals tab, but that's no longer the case with the latest update 13.2. Accessibilities has its own tab, its own folder, if you will. So scroll down past General. I think it's the third one past General. You'll see or you'll hear, if you're using VoiceOver, Accessibility. Select Open Accessibility. This will open the accessibility folder to the menu where you can select different bits of the accessibility features that's on the iPhone and iPad that you set up and use for folks with low vision or whatnot. Most common are at the top of the list. VoiceOver is one, Zoom is another one, and the display and text size is a little bit further down the list. Just scroll down, you'll find it. When you hear display and text size, select and open that folder or that tab. That will take you to the menu that gives you the options of what you can change settings on that makes display and larger text work best for your personal needs. Now, the first item on the list is going to be bold text. Now, this is new information. You went into the display and larger text portion of the folder and you're at the menu so that we can set up display and text size features. The first one on this list is bold text. I recommend you turn it on, especially for anybody that has low vision, legally blind, that use what eyesight they do have left to both read and send, type text messages, emails, and so forth. You want to interact with your social media and stuff like that, and you do it via what vision you have left and you don't rely on VoiceOver, bold text really comes in handy. So go ahead and turn bold text on, and just so that you know, when you turn bold text on, your device will want to do a restart so that it can go through and make all the adjustments and make all the settings work across all your different apps on your device. So let's go ahead, turn that on, do the restart, and when we get back, we'll get into the larger text setting, which is the next item on the list. Okay, after turning on the bold text setting and then going through a restart, the next item on the menu is larger text. What you want to do is just scroll down to larger text, select it, open that page. That will take you directly to the menu where you can turn on larger accessibility size. There's a little toggle there to the immediate right of the sentence. Just turn that toggle on. That will turn on larger text. Directly below the larger text setting is a slider. Now, it's just like any other slider that Apple uses for, adjusting their settings. You start from the left, you go to the right to get larger. You go, if you're all the way to the right, what they call 100%, you go to the left and it will decrease the size of the font. So you can kind of play around with that and see what works best for you. And for me, I have discovered that on my iPhone, my XS Max, I'll go ahead and I turn that up to 100%. That's just what works out best for me. That way I can, see the screen. I can read what's on there without holding it to my nose and breaking out a magnifier. I can actually read what's on the screen. Now, on the other hand, when I use my iPad Pro, my 12.9-inch iPad Pro, I set it more 68-70%. The larger screen gives me more real estate to display the text, and it just seems like the text looks a bit larger on that larger screen anyway. So that's all there is to increasing the size of the letters and the numbers and stuff like that on the screen. In conjunction with the bold text, that makes stuff a lot easier for folks with low vision and legally blind to read emails, read texts, and even phone numbers. When you get into your contacts list, you're trying to figure out what a phone number is because you want to dial it, you don't want to speak it. It makes it easier to see. So these are probably the most popular settings for accessibilities that low vision people use on iPhones and iPads. Another favorite setting of mine in the display and accessibility size folder is the reduce transparency. You turn it on, you turn it off. Personally, I find it helps. I just turn it on, and it reduces the transparency and the blur that sometimes accompanies text that makes it a little bit difficult to see some of the characters. So I turn that on, and it helps me, and I believe it might help you as well. Okay, for the last two items on the list, or in the menu as far as the display and accessibility sizes is concerned, I decided I was going to go ahead and let my friendly little iPad Pro here kind of help out. Well, it's kind of harsh, and it messed with my auto brightness on my webcam too, but I think you see what's going on here. Basically, I have my iPad, I have VoiceOver turned on, and just wanted to introduce you to the last two items in the menu that we can adjust that really, in my opinion, is a must-use for folks with low vision, especially guys that are legally blind and gals like myself that can use contrast. Contrast really helps us out being able to, it's the difference between being able to read text and not being able to read the text. So this first one is, I'm going to let my little iPad introduce you.
Reduce white point on.
Reduce white point. Now basically what that does is once you turn it on, it gives you a little slider that you can slide from the left to the right. Now going from the far left to the far right will dim the white letters on the background, or the lighter colored letters on a darker colored background. And going from the left margin to the going from the right margin to the far left will increase the brightness or the contrast. So if you're using a light colored letter on a dark background, going left to right, it's going to get dim. Going from right to left, it's going to get brighter. That helps a lot, especially in certain situations, certain lighting conditions. So it is there, and you may have to play around with it to find out what works best for you in most situations. Or it's just good to know that it's there in case you're in a situation where the lighting is such that it makes it hard for you to see the background, or the web page is kind of kind of weird and it makes it hard for you to see the text, you can go in, you can adjust this, and that will help. The next one is
Auto brightness on.
auto brightness. I turn auto brightness on for a couple of different reasons. I'm going to set this down here. The first one is kind of obvious. If you set the brightness on your iPhone or your iPad so that you can see text while you're indoors, so you're in the library, you're in the study, you're in your front room, and it's kind of dimly lit because you just like dim lights. You may have that where it's not quite so bright so that it doesn't hurt your eyes. Then if you happen to decide you're going to go out in the garden and take a walk around, take some snapshots or whatever with your smartphone or your iPad, and you get out there and the sunshine is to the point to where you can't see the screen, well, you want that as bright as possible so you can see the screen. Auto brightness will help you do this. So basically what I do is I go outside, I set it at 100%, and then I make sure auto brightness is turned on. So from that point on, when I come inside and it's dark, it auto dims. It will adjust the light accordingly that comes out from the screen. So that's one reason to use auto brightness. The second one is if you run it full brightness, 100% brightness all the time, inside and outside, it does consume more battery. It requires more power to light up the screen. So there's a couple things you want to think about. One, do I need it that bright? If not, set it so it's comfortable where you are, where you use your devices 90% of the time, 80% of the time. And then turn auto brightness on. It'll also, it's going to dim, it's going to brighten automatically. It's going to help you save battery. So I know that was a whole lot to say about nothing, but those are the last two settings in the menu that we need to take and pay attention to, and we know about when it comes to setting up our display and our accessibility text sizes. Hey, thank you for stopping by and sharing this time with us. Hope you've enjoyed the video that we just finished doing on the iOS accessibilities features and the settings for display and text size. We didn't cover all the settings, but I think you get the gist of what's there, what's available. So it's your time, your leisure. Spend a little bit of time with it, set it up the way you like it. As always, if you wouldn't care to, please do me a favor. If you like this video, make sure and hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you haven't subscribed already, I'd really appreciate that. While you're doing that, go ahead and hit that notification bell. Just ring that notification bell so you get made aware of any time we post comments or answer comments or post new videos. We'd really appreciate that. Additionally, make sure and check out the other videos in the series, iOS, accessibilities. I think you'll find that information useful. And also in the description below, you'll find some links to devices that I recommend, that I use, that I like. And that'll take you to Amazon. You click on something, you buy something there. We might make a couple dollars to help us keep this channel up and running. Again, thank you very much for your time. Really do appreciate you stopping by. I'd love to hear from you in the comments section. Be safe. We'll catch you in the next video.